has become clear, the law is changing. Things are changing in regard to the laws. Just in the last year, there have been significant changes at the state level. Insofar as comments that were made, I think this does dovetail to some degree. We have a city where conditions are extremely difficult for our residents, for our businesses, for our devoted police officers. We do have to do our due diligence. These dispensaries are a problem for us. They have been linked to significant criminal behavior and activity. They need to be brought under control, be it through prohibition or some other mechanism. There are cities that are doing this effectively. This is a very serious problem for our city. I take this very seriously, Mr. Charette. And my comments over the weekend were actually in support of our police. We need to take steps to actively address the challenges and problems we face as a community. Not simply give lip service, not simply engage in a teleconference and a discussion in a committee. We have to go out and do our due diligence and find ways that we can fix our city based on best practice that exists. We aren't reinventing the wheel here, but I think we have an obligation to our residents, to our businesses, to our police force that quite frankly are thrown into a meat grinder every day. I've been out with code enforcement to these dispensaries. These are ugly places with very shady individuals. This is not good for our city. And we need to learn from other cities that are actually taking the bull by the horns and fixing this problem, addressing it effectively. And I think it is our obligation. I think it is our duty as a city council, especially with this issue. I'm not saying every ordinance we need to go out on a fact-finding tour, but to be perfectly frank, when this item came up to LRC, we did send staff out to other cities. And I think the problem was the members of the committee didn't have enough understanding of the issue intimately to understand what was best for our city. And I'll be quite honest, to use your language, Mr. Charette, the committee was railroaded. And I think what we are doing now as a committee is doing the job we should have done a year and a half ago, which is to understand the various dimensions to this problem. Understand the dimensions of what are the challenges and costs of absolute prohibition, which I personally do support. But I am willing to keep an open mind and look at what other cities are doing in terms of effective regulation and responding. Quite frankly, we approve this, folks. The state of California, like it or not, in 1996, we approved effectively the legalization of medical marijuana. That is a fact, and we have to address it as a fact. Regardless of what we may think personally, we have to deal with the law as it exists. And I am not foreclosing the discussion on prohibition, but we have to learn the intricacies of what is being done throughout our state and learn from other cities that have done it effectively. And quite frankly, Mr. Charette, I am disappointed in you this evening, because you and I had conversations in the LRC.
I'm very disappointed in what you said over the weekend on NPR.
I will clarify that, Mr. Charette, on another point, because it was taken out of context, but to be perfectly honest, I support our police, I support our police chief, and I think we do have an obligation. I take this job very seriously. And to simply be, I understand the politics around here too, Mr. Charette. This is not a popular decision to make. I understand that we're in a financial pickle right now, but we still have to do our job. And that's all I'm asking. I'm asking for your due consideration. Allow us to do our job, do it effectively, come back with recommendations so that you as the council can understand the nuance of this, see what's working, actually get on the ground. If they're saying that this is working, I want to see it. I want to go visit those dispensaries and see if they are actually legitimate operations or if this is just lip service for an industry that's just trying to put another foothold in another region of our state. But the fact of the matter is, these operations are exploding. There's a tremendous amount of money. It's becoming almost impossible to control. We have to get our act together for the sake of the safety of our community. And for the sake of our police, to be perfectly honest, Mr. Charette.
Move for approval.